All right, guys. Hi, my name is Jason, and welcome to another Reagan Creative video. So today I want to talk a little bit about these brand new brush tip markers that I got. They're double-ended, and they're from MG, which is a Chinese company. It's a 48 count marker, so you can see we've got the chisel tip here, and then there's the brushed tip here. So I'm going to do a color swatch for each of them, and then I'm going to pick a few colors to do a little bit of a review of. So check this out. I hope that you find it useful. Okay, so I have drawn and colored in these color swatches. This is actually the first time I've pulled out these markers since I got them. Again, it's a 48 count color set. It's a pretty good even distribution of the colors. I just use regular notebook paper here with these grid lines on it, and you can see where some of the darker colors have bled through. But again, I was pushing down on some of them. I don't know how I feel about the overlap in some of these colors and how they make them substantially darker. But then again, I wouldn't normally probably be using them for that. But I do like the way they're drying. It seems like they have a really nice tone and even hue over them, I guess you'd say, as they dry. And so some of them are a little light, but in general, I like the color palette that comes with this set. It is a low budget end set of brush markers, brush tip markers, which I wanted to try out. And so one thing that I've noticed with a lot of these markers, especially ones that are available in China, they don't usually name them. They use a number, which I guess is probably pretty common practice to have the number so you can easily match it. And then there's no issue with language and translation and that kind of thing. So the chisel tip, you can see here, most of them went out quite smoothly. I did notice that when I started to, when I first opened some of them, I had to press down because the nib was a little loose. It wasn't fully engaged. So I had to push down on a couple of them. You can see the darker spots where I had to push down on those. Then when it came to the brush tip, I'm less impressed because they were quite inconsistent. I don't know if you could see, some of them were quite soft and then they bounced back. They had a good elasticity to them, so they bounced back quite easily. And then others, you had to really push down. So you can see, like this brown here, I was able to make three very distinct thicknesses of lines, but then in some of the others, they look quite similar. And so I did notice that with some of them, the brush tip was a little more user-friendly, I guess you could say, like it bounced back a bit more. Some of them were really stiff. I don't know if that's from the way they were stored or packaged or how long they were sitting before I've used them. I don't know, but maybe with some use they would loosen up a little bit. But in general, you can see that there's, for most of them, there's a few weights of thickness of the lines using the brush tip. And then I did just a little squiggle just to kind of show the flexibility. And so some of them are quite nice. I'm really happy with this brown here and how that turned out. I like this sort of sand color. It's got a really, really nice color to it. And several of these others, I really do like the way that they have dried. I wasn't sure I would like them as much, but as they've dried, some of them have lightened up a little bit. And really, you can really see the difference in the colors, because I know that this set here, I was quite concerned because they seem quite similar, but then you can see a bit more blue or aqua in that one. And then see how some of these, they look a little similar when you start to use them, but you can then see as they dry a big difference in them, even in the blues. So overall, you know, for especially like a starter set of brush tip markers, I think this might be a really good place for people to start. I will post what this set cost me, and what it might cost depending on where you were buying it. But in general, I was pretty happy with the purchase. I'm anxious to actually use them with different kinds of paper. This is a paper that's used for like calligraphy or character practice. When you're writing like Japanese and Chinese characters, that's what the blocks are for. And so usually you're using like an ink based rollerball pen. So I am a little surprised some of these bled through the paper, but I'm not reviewing the paper. I'm only reviewing what these brush tip markers are like. So yeah, I think the overall verdict is it's not a bad set to use. I think the more I used it, I would probably get a few favorite colors and whatnot. I can definitely see how to use these here for some shading and some highlights with some of the greens and blues. So yeah, looks great. Thank you all for watching. If you're enjoying this video, please swing by and check out my connection through the YouTube channel of Reagan Creative, or just scan this and go to my Zap Bio page where you can see all my other work. So thanks so much, and let me know what you think in the comments.